And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, December 15th. I am Josh Engleman. I'm here to break down a 4-game NBA slate coming off of last night's 10-gamer. Hope it went well for you guys. Hope somebody was a winner out there. But if not, today is a new day. So hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Folks, not gonna lie, I'm exhausted. Not a great night's sleep. That's why you're getting little window Josh in the bottom corner. You don't need full screen Josh at this point in time. Dragon butt, guys. Dragon butt. However, we're here. There are no breaks in the process, although there's a giant break in the process coming soon. But for now, we're here. And we're breaking down 4 games. A couple teams on back-to-backs. Not the most fun slate on paper yet. We'll see what we end up with as we get moving. Wild night last night. Big Jokic day. Curry hurt, but smashed before it happened. Yeah. Big Markelle Fultz day. A lot of stocks. That went well for Fultz. I wish there was a gaggle of Josh's. I would like a clone right now to take over for this one so that I can go back to sleep. But alas, that is not how life works. But it'd be nice. It'd be real nice. I'm gonna be honest. We got to get into this right now. I assume Miami Houston goes slow. My brain is barely working, but if I don't start getting coffee into me, I might fall asleep while I talk. So, without further ado, let's get into this bad boy with a little bit of coffee to drink. So if you've got a coffee, I hope that you can give me some sympathy caffeine. If you've got tea, water, beer, whatever you've got right now, it's got to get the jump up. I'm down with Red Bulls and Monsters and any way that you can get energy into your body, do it so that I can have a little bit of it. But for now, I've got my coffee. I've also got to rise and grind for today. So cheers, everybody. Let's get it started. Honestly, I wish I had a beer. It would probably be the best way to start today. It would be going better, I think. Be refreshing. Honestly, Humboldt, I'd think about it depending on the volume. It's one of those days. I thought, you know what's really crazy? I thought I slept well. Like I slept hard. All of a sudden it was just morning. Turns out none of that was restorative in any way, shape, or form. I was beat. Anyway, let's get into it. Miami Heat. And this is a team that we're basically not going to be able to talk about. The Miami Heat are 4-point favorites in Houston. 222 total. But Miami played yesterday. They played without Jimmy Butler. My assumption is that Jimmy Butler is playing today. But I have no idea what they're doing with the rest of these guys. Nobody else tends to sit during back-to-backs. I do expect Oladipo to sit. I don't know how much that matters. So what I'm going to do is add Jimmy Butler back into the rotation and take Victor Oladipo out of the rotation. That's what I think Miami's going to do for today. But obviously, this is the first game. We're going to know all of this stuff beforehand. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm going to leave Lowry's minutes the same. I think Max Strus is likely to play at least a little bit less, but we got to replace. Like we're taking minutes away by bringing Butler back in and taking Oladipo out. Although Oladipo did play 30 yesterday, didn't see that one coming at all. So let's get Jimmy Butler in for his pretty standard 33. And then the question then becomes, really, how many minutes do you think Max Strus plays? And I don't think the answer is a lot. I mean, he played 17 and a half minutes yesterday. With Butler back, he did play 16. Strus bumped up to 31 in the game without Lowry. I don't think that I can go to 30 here. Now, Duncan Robinson played 22 yesterday. I certainly think that he could leave the rotation, and that makes things a little bit easier. Haywood Highsmith could conceivably leave this rotation as well. A lot of different ways that this can go. That said, I think Caleb Martin is just going to play a bunch of minutes. He tends to do that. I don't think Hero's minutes are going anywhere. I assume Lowry is just simply playing today. I'm going to take him down to 35. So I got to free up 9 minutes somewhere. I'm actually going to leave Strus at 30, even though he only played 17 and a half yesterday. And I'm just going to cut down Duncan Robinson and Haywood Highsmith and assume they go to 9 guys. So if I just look at those guys, I have 23 minutes between the two. I'm going to go to 12 and 11. I think that's all we really need to do here, other than add Jimmy Butler back into the rotation. But again, these are guesses to a degree. We don't have their injury report. So none of this is really going to matter until 1 o'clock. No, 2 o'clock. 2:30 injury report. We'll get the updates from Miami. Or earlier in theory, but they are not required to be on the injury report until 2:30. So in games where Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero all started, what's going on for the Miami Heat? They've played 12 games like that. They've got a pretty big sample at this point. Bam Adebayo, a little bit less usage. Jimmy Butler is at 25 and a quarter. Kyle Lowry is at just over 16. Crazy how low his usage gets. And then Tyler Hero, 387 minutes this season with all of those 4 guys starting, a little over a 25% usage rate. And finally, we close out whatever Strus and Caleb Martin have. Strus has just around an 18% usage rate. Caleb Martin is at 14.3. So that's where we're at for usage for Miami. Now let's grab some assist rates. I appreciate you guys being here, by the way. This was a tough one. This was the first one where I was like, you know what? I think I might try to get out of this. When my wrist started vibrating and I realized that my alarm was going off, I was like, I might have to bag this process show. This might have to be the one that I start to axe. But I pushed through it. I got up. I got the coffee made. I got the blood flowing. I should have went outside. That was my mistake. I'm learning this in hindsight now. I should have just walked outside, took a couple deep breaths of that ice cold air, because right now it is, I believe it's pretty brisk. It is, oh no, it's 64. It wouldn't have been ice cold air. So it wouldn't have been as refreshing as I expected it to be. But I thought about it. I really, really thought about it. I really had to pry the old eyeballs out. It was like, whoa. I thought it was actually cold. I guess it was just cold last night, and then it got warm overnight. Not that I'm mad about it, but it was brisk last night. A couple of those cold air breaths would have been good. All right, so other than a quick rebounding adjustment to make sure that Bam and Tyler Hero are good, and here's that they are. 41 and raining in Raleigh. Yuck. Yuck. S&P, thank you. Look, we are probably a week away from taking a bit of a process hiatus. Don't know for sure, but my guess is sometime next week, the process is just going to not exist for, if I had to guess, the rest of the year. Humboldt, I'm in North Carolina. So we probably only have a couple more before we're taking a process hiatus. All right, that's Miami. Let's go to Houston. Or the Houston Rockets. Okay, so they played Tuesday, so we have their injury report. And there's nobody on it other than Jayshawn Tate, which means we kind of know exactly how to project this team. I mean, they don't really deviate at all. 34 minutes for Porter and for Jalen Green. You know, you get around 30 for Jabari. And Probably 28 in a competitive matchup for Alperen Şengün. Eric Gordon played a little bit less this most recent game, which is interesting. Don't think it matters all that much. I'm going to leave him in for 29. There's just really, like, they don't mess around. It's really, really simple to see what they do. Yeah, trust me, I would much rather do the show. But it's just not going to happen. But I would much rather be doing the show, that's for sure. All right, game 1 in the books. And as we look at it, remember, we got to remember it's a 4-game slate. So, value is a little bit different. Jalen Green and KPJ on DraftKings, to me, look good. Like, this is a 4-point line. This game should be competitive. Green and Porter on DK look great. Porter's $300 more expensive on FanDuel. Jalen Green's $500 more expensive on FanDuel. So they don't look as good there. But I think they look really good on DK. I don't mind Jabari on either site, but again, that FanDuel price isn't the best. And clearly Şengün, it's going to be a tough sell for Eric Gordon, especially on DraftKings where he doesn't have the MPE. I don't if I'm going to anybody from Houston's bench, because again, it's on a 4-game slate, like you start having to work in the bench guy that you think can pop off the most. If you're not really getting to Jabari Smith, I don't mind giving a bump to Tari Eason or trying to get to Tari Eason. He's a 1.05 fantasy point per minute guy. If he falls into more minutes, it's a lot easier for him to succeed in comparison to like Knicks or Matthews. Now, if anybody gets hurt, it becomes Martin, who's at 3,600. So those would be the two guys that I would have my eye on if I needed to go to the Rockets bench. I mean, I'll definitely be back. That I can promise you. I just don't know how long it's going to be on hiatus. On the Miami end. All right, so assuming that I'm right and that the only person that's out today is Oladipo, and that's just a guess for right now, assuming Butler is in and you get the rest of the starters, I'm happy to go to $8,600 BAM. I don't even mind $9,200 BAM on FanDuel because you buy that power forward eligibility. I'm going straight to Tyler Hero as per usual. I mean, he played 40 minutes yesterday. He's averaging like 37 minutes a game. So, hold on. Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, Philip, I got a question for you in a second, but we'll skip it because you guys are talking about a very different place than what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, Hero and Bam are fine. I don't have a huge interest in Jimmy Butler, but 8,700 on DraftKings makes it easy. 9,600 on FanDuel. I don't know how you prioritize going to Butler, but 8,700 on DraftKings, I think you can very easily get there if you want. I'm just worried about the minutes. I don't know if he's going to be out there for like 36 or 37. And then Caleb Martin just continues to be like a shooting guard, small forward value play on FanDuel. Game number 1 in the books. The other 8 o'clock start, the Milwaukee Bucks 1.5 point dogs in Memphis, 227 total. Milwaukee did not play yesterday, so we have their real injury report. And that's going to be Drew Holiday out. So we know that already. Joe Ingles obviously still out. Beauchamp is available for this one. Mamukelashvili is with the G League. None of that really matters, but we do know that we're getting it just like Tuesday with no Drew Holiday, which is obviously important. We saw big minutes out of Bobby Portis with Drew out. That's a little concerning. Carter got to 28. I'm going to absolutely limit him to 28 here. George Hill, I'm going to leave at 18. Grayson Allen's minutes I don't think are really all that affected. Pat Connaughton, I'd take 1 minute away from where I was. Wes Matthews did play. Those minutes don't have to move. Chris Middleton played 29. So I'm going to keep him in at 30. Jordan Nwora basically didn't play. We know that we're going to keep Giannis in for 34. I know I'm going to keep Brook Lopez in for 31. I do need to bump Bobby Portis up. I think with Drew out, 26 feels most correct. So that does leave me 7 extra minutes. They had a lot of like spillover stuff. I'm just going to throw them onto Beauchamp for right now. But we've already updated rates for no Drew. So there's going to be a lot to like here, or at least a little bit more to like for Milwaukee than we normally see. For the Memphis side, Grizzlies, Ja is available. Steven Adams available. No Bane, which means this is just standard Memphis rotation. I never had... So on Monday when Morant and Adams were out, I didn't have to make that update. So everything that I have in here is what I think their normal rotation is going to be. We got Zaire Williams up to 21 minutes. So I do need to start figuring out where those minutes are going to come from. Because I think he's going to start working his way up to 20. But I guess for right now, I don't really have a change. Adams for 29. Jackson for 28. I mean, I guess it's John Conchar, and we take him up to 19 and him down to 24, because we're just not really going to get to Conchar. Morning, Larry C. Don't have to change any rates, so game 2 is pretty easy, and I obviously have some interest in this one. Let's see here. I mean, this is just like a great game to watch, obviously. Steven Adams, 5,200 on DraftKings. Look, there's only 4 games. Or there's only 4 games. There's only 8 teams. If Steven Adams is playing, you just have to assume that he's going to play like 29 minutes. He's certainly... How are his minutes generally speaking against Milwaukee? Because it feels like having him to meet Giannis at the rim is important. Steven Adams in his history against Milwaukee. Okay, maybe he never gets into foul trouble. 24 minutes, 26 minutes, 22 minutes, 28 minutes. I'm going to go down to 28-22 for Adams. Or, sorry, 28 and 20 for him and Brandon Clark. Just, I assumed he would get into foul trouble, and he doesn't. Now, he has had some bigger minute games. Like, he played 38 one day in 2021, but doesn't tend to be out there for a ton of minutes. So maybe the right tail isn't there for his playing time the way that I think it would be. But for now, I mean, I still quite like Steven Adams at 5,200, even in 28 minutes on DraftKings. 6,100 on FanDuel isn't as good. I think Ja for 10-4 on DraftKings looks amazing. If you're going to anybody else, it's Brooks and Jackson. I think Memphis looks like outwardly bad. For Milwaukee, I mean, Lopez, we're just going to name so many centers. Like Brook for 6,300, I like more than Adams on FanDuel. Giannis, look, I mean, what do I got to say? He's 12-2 on DK and 12K on FanDuel. If you want to play Giannis, by all means. Chris Middleton, 6,800 on DK, 6,900 on FanDuel. Underpriced to a degree. I would be happy to go there. Javon Carter will be popular on DK, I would imagine. Assuming he starts, he's 4,300. Point guard, shooting guard. It's a place where you could find a little value. I think Bobby Portis is already sort of priced where, like in 20, you need Bobby Portis to play 28 minutes or more today. But for now, I still think like he's a completely reasonable point per dollar play on a slate like this. Connaughton would be the guy at 3,700 that you could take the shot on, falling into like 5 more minutes or something and play 25. 2 games down. Don't be afraid to hit that like button, folks. Helps us out a ton. The likes will fuel me today. I need the fuel. So will the coffee. New Orleans Pelicans. 2-point favorites in Utah. 232 total. What do we got going on for the Pels? They played on Tuesday, so we have their injury report. Always helpful. And on New Orleans, no Brandon Ingram. Going to be out for a couple more games. No Jose Alvarado either. So kind of easier to project New Orleans. On Tuesday, we got 23 minutes out of Nance, 19 out of Joval. Big time blowout run. So that was Tuesday the 13th. Yeah, New Orleans got smacked. The final 6 minutes of the game were all blowout runs. So did Joval and Nance play alongside each other before that? Basically, no. Maybe for like less than a minute. So I'm going to continue to leave those guys split the way that I have them. 24 Joval, 25 Nance. Joval, 2 fouls in the first quarter rotation. Came on in the second. Didn't have any fouls. Was +1. They took him back off the floor then. Don't know why. They went to Nance. It didn't work. Nance was -9 in that rotation. Joval then picked up 2 fouls at the start of the third quarter. They went to straight Nance, and by the time that they got rid of Nance at the end of the fourth, they had called off the dogs. So I'm going to go 24-24 there. Zion in for 35 works. CJ in for 34 works. I don't mind the minutes on Trey Murphy. Dyson Daniels, I might have underrepresented a little bit. Devontae Graham did not play a ton. Now, maybe Graham plays a little bit more, but I got to get Daniels up to... I'm going to go 24 for Dyson Daniels. I got 14 in for Devontae Graham. Najee Marshall played 22 again. And that was all like essentially standard run. So I am going to also take him up 22. And I'm going to give 16 to Devontae Graham just because I had those extra minutes. But that's the 9-man rotation. That's pretty easy to handle too. Herb Jones played 20 minutes. I got him in for 28. That actually might be too many. So I'm going to take him down to 26. 2 spillover minutes to like Willie Hernan-Gomez or something. Pelicans could look interesting here. Utah side, again, remember, 232 total. This is the biggest total game on the slate. What do we know for the Jazz, who we have their injury report? Colin Sexton is the only guy that's out. Fontecchio also out, but I don't think that matters. We got 31 minutes out of Markkanen. Oh, wait. So this is a rematch. This is a rematch. Okay. We're getting the Jared Vanderbilt game once again because he smashed in his 22 minutes, right? Vanderbilt finished with 8 of 9 from the field, 14 boards, 6 assists. Don't know if we get that one again. You know, we got Kelly Olynyk in for 30. I got Walker Kessler in for 22. I got Rudy Gay in for 15. I got Vanderbilt in for 16. Like, I don't really think that I'm moving this around all that much. Jalen Horton-Tucker played minimally. Mike Conley played 28 minutes, so I feel comfortable there. 28 for Beasley seems right. Played more, even in the blowout. Did he? He played a little bit of like weird blowout run, so I feel 28's right. Nickeil Alexander-Walker picked up a lot of his run in blowout time, so I'm not changing any of these rates or anything for Utah. I like where we're at, which means it's another game down. I'm happy to go to Markkanen at 8,100. I mean, Clarkson, Markkanen, I want to roll the dice on Kelly Olynyk for sure. Assuming people are like game log watching him playing 16 minutes on Tuesday. Maybe he gets slept on a little bit. I don't even think $5,300 Conley is crazy on DraftKings. You can just get to so much from Utah today. Clarkson, Markkanen, Olynyk, Beasley, Conley, Vanderbilt, Kessler. All viable options today. Now, I don't know if you're getting to $6K Walker Kessler on FanDuel, but $4,900 Walker Kessler on DraftKings is a different play. And then on the Pels side, I just like the Pelican side way more. I like rolling the dice on Joval. Obviously didn't go well, but in 24 minutes, he can still be really good and could easily fall into more minutes. But don't forget, like, we talked about Steven Adams, and so we've got Steven Adams, Joval, Brooke Lopez, Alperen Şengün, even Bobby Portis to a degree. Like, we are not short on centers. Brandon Clark is a backup if you want to go that direction. I love Zion for 9,800 on DK and 10,200 on FanDuel. I really like Trey Murphy for 5K. I mean, this is just a good spot for it's just a good spot for the Pelicans because you get to face the Jazz. It's no different than it was on Tuesday. There's just so many extra fantasy points to go around. So whether you're going to Nance at 4,700 or even if you want to take the shot on Dyson Daniels at 3,700, shooting guard, small forward, like he's going to look good. It's just a great game to target. Finally, guys, we're going to close this one out. We're moving pretty good through this, but look, 4-game slate. We've had a lot of teams that we have their injury report and there's no news, so it actually makes it a little bit easier to get through it all. And honestly, like I don't have the energy to go on a random tangent. So if you guys want me to stick around for a bit, you're really going to have to bring up one of my triggers. Devin Booker's questionable today. DeAndre Ayton's questionable. Cam Johnson out. Cam Payne out. I mean, we can only project this team with everybody in that can be in. So complicating factor here. We've seen Chris Paul play into the 30s over the past couple games. This should be ultra competitive. It's the Clippers, so revenge narrative, whatever. I'm going to go 33 to Chris Paul. I'm going to get Devin Booker straight away in for his 36. Mikal Bridges straight away in for his 37. We get DeAndre Ayton right away in for his, I'm going to go 30 on Ayton, at least for right now. It appears that, let's see, it had been Jock Landale that had taken over in the rotation. Biyombo got the minutes this most recent game. These guys just don't play alongside of each other, so I'm going to say that it's just Jock Landale getting the straight backup center run. Mitchell better than Gobert? Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion between the two. Mitchell's in a good spot now. I think if properly built around for Gobert, I still think that he could be like a really great anchor of a team. I think it'd be fascinating to see Gobert as a drop center on like the Raptors with the rest of those like 6'8" guys just swarming around. It would just feel like you had nowhere to go. If they had a better half-court offense, it'd be interesting. Yeah, S&P, you might be right. What time does that game tip off? 9. Yeah, we might. Hey, maybe we know. Oh no, this one's a 10:30 start. We might not have any idea. Oh well. All right, Torrey Craig, he's gonna need 30 minutes, and then the rest of this should sort of fill itself out. We're gonna get 20 out of Landry Shamet, 20 plus out of Landry Shamet, maybe 18, something like that. Backup point guard, actually. Are they just gonna use Booker? They're probably just gonna use Booker, right? Because they don't have Dwayne Washington. I think Booker is just going to be the second unit point guard. Let's get Shamet in for 20. Let's get... Oh, man, I don't think it's going to be Saric. So we're going to have Josh Okogie and Damian Lee for the final 36 minutes. Lee just sort of plays 24 minutes. That leaves me 12 for Okogie. I think that's fine. We definitely need to get new rates, but there's no telling what Phoenix is actually going to look like. So for Phoenix, what do they look like in games where Paul, Booker, Bridges, and Ayton all start? Alrighty. I guess we definitely want to take Cam Payne off as well. I know it's going to lower my sample, but I want to make sure that that usage isn't around. Okay, that's going to work. All right, Chris Paul. 16.5% usage rate. I can't go down in that way. I'm going to go to 17. Ayton, 219 minutes, 23.5% usage rate. Devin Booker, 254 minutes, little over 30. Mikal Bridges, 16.5. And then Torrey Craig, 15.5. You can make all the moves for an NBA team this year. Which one would it be, and what's your first move to get to the finals next year? I mean, if I just want to experience winning, I'm just going to Boston and not doing anything. If I need to go to a team where I think I can make a move to like try to guarantee myself a championship, I'm either going to Memphis or New Orleans. Probably New Orleans. Just too many assets. New Orleans has all the assets in the world, contracts that you can move, guys that I don't like that I would try to get off of to better fit the team. Like I would trade Joe Val immediately. Not that I don't like Joe Val in general. I just don't like him for that team. But New Orleans or Memphis would be the answers for sure. I don't even think it's close any other direction. You know, trying to get like Miles Turner to New Orleans or going really big, you know, doing the Ingram for KD type swap with a bunch of picks. Something like that. Probably, if you want to go to Detroit after they draft Wemby and then sign like Kenny Atkinson to be the coach, that's not the worst idea in the world either. Let's go to the Clippers, who are probably going to be complicated here in that they did play yesterday. So we're definitely not getting Kawhi Leonard today. That one's easy. Wall didn't play yesterday, so I assume he's playing today. But Kawhi is certainly not playing today. So a lot of this isn't going to be all that bad. But what about Cleveland? Why would I ever want to go to Cleveland? Can we move the whole city to somewhere else? I'd go to Cleveland and trade Evan Mobley just to ruin things for Cleveland. All right, I got Zubats in for 27 minutes. He did get injured, so I don't know if he's going to play. I got 30 minutes for Marcus Morris. That works for me. Paul George in for 35. That works for me. Batum in for 26. That works for me. Kennard feels fine with 24. I'm fine with 23 on Wall. Terrence Mann, I can very clearly now get to the 24 range. Now I have 22 minutes left over. Covington played. But I think I'm just going to make it be Covington. We're good there. Look, we don't know the status of the Clippers other than Kawhi's not going to play. So, final game, final team. Okay, I can't give 22 minutes to Robert Covington. He's the flat 3K. That's a problem. I go 18 to Covington and then 4 extra random minutes to Brandon Boston. That'll probably mute that a bit. Yeah, okay. Look, depending on how you feel about Ivica Zubats, it's just another 5K center that's available for you. 5,300 on DK, 5,700 on FanDuel. I mean, Utah's got the picks, but they don't have a number 1 or a number 2 on that team, so they're too far away. They don't actually have a future. They're just a good story. They're a really good regular season team just because they got like a lot of real NBA players. And I love their future. Like, don't get me wrong. I would want to go to Utah, but they are multiple years away. I mean, S&P, I'm happy to continue to slander Cleveland on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Oh, I miss that place. I have not been back in so long, and I desperately want to go back. I haven't been to Pittsburgh in 13 years after spending a whole hell of a lot of time in Pittsburgh through college. $4,900 Marcus Morris, if we want to keep that conversation going. I think he looks good on FanDuel. Obviously, happy to go to Paul George at 9,200 or 9K. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Permantes. That wasn't necessarily my spot. But obviously, if you want to put French fries on a sandwich, knock yourself out. But I had better food in Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, that's probably actually not true. Well, I definitely had better food in Pittsburgh, but I wasn't exactly spending a lot of money on like high quality culinary cuisine in 2004 to 2008. Let's close this out then with Phoenix. Assuming everybody is back for Phoenix and that we have Booker and have Ayton. $8,900 Devin Booker looks pretty tasty on FanDuel. This isn't a slate with a lot of value. We're going to run a crunch now. I don't really love this all that much. Yeah, S&P. It's just like, it's fine. Like, I would never go there. If I were there, I would never go there on purpose. But I wouldn't, like, turn it down because I thought it was bad or something. But I wouldn't be seeking it out at this point. But the things that I would be seeking out now are, like, trash food I ate when I was 25. All right, let's run the FanDuel optimals. Yeah, like, if I went to Pittsburgh, I would just be, like, wandering around South Oakland getting wrecked and just trying to, like, randomly stumble into places that I remembered. And then I would hunt down, like, real restaurants for normal nights. But all right, FanDuel optimal, 294.61. So this is the optimal by 0.68. So close. CJ McCollum, Kevin Porter Jr., Caleb Martin, Grayson Allen, Trey Murphy, Tyler Hero, Marcus Morris, Giannis, Joval. I'm so happy I'm not playing this slate. Whew. This is gross. That's a terrible, terrible looking optimal lineup. And then let's go ahead and check out power rankings. Man, that optimal lineup was just nasty. Yeah, I need to put Pittsburgh back on the list of places that I need to get back to. Especially now that I have money and can go to, like, sections of Pittsburgh that I never went to. Go to restaurants that I know are good that I was never going to go to. Like, when I thought that going to Mad Mex was a step up, that's how you know you didn't have any money. Tyler Hero, #1 contender on FanDuel. But if I'm being honest, it is so flat. Look at those percentages. 29%, 28.5, 28, 28, 28, 28, 26.5, 26. A half minute to any of these first 8 guys can go either direction. Hero, Giannis, Marcus Morris, KPJ, Jalen Green, Devin Booker, Trey Murphy, Caleb Martin. That is your top tier on FanDuel for today. On the DraftKings side, let's see what we got on DK. It's got to look better. Can't look worse. On the DK end, optimal lineup, 266.83. So this is the optimal by 0.56. KPJ, Jalen Green, Trey Murphy, Jabari Smith, Steven Adams, Ja Morant, Larry Nance, and Joval. These optimals are awful. This slate is awful. Woof. Power rankings. God. Even this slate is like, yo, you should have slept in and skipped this show. Good. Oh my God. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna. Can we go all the way wide? Oh yeah, perfect. Whew. That pullover is making me quite hot. There we go. And we're back. All right. Power rankings on DraftKings. Jalen Green is at the top of the list. Could just as easily be KPJ. Trey Murphy, John Morant, Zubac, Steven Adams, Lauri Markkanen, Tyler Hero, Marcus Moore. It's just flat. There's no good plays anywhere that are just like, this guy's an obvious good play. Like, there's nobody where you're like, can't fade that guy. Rough. Really rough. But we made it through a 4-gamer. I hope I'm here tomorrow. Not out of the realm that I'm not. Let's talk it out. Because we're done here. That's 4 games up, 4 games down. Before I do anything else, for the 129 of you that are here for this slate, please check out BetMGM. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the sponsor of my video. 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum and up to a $1,000 risk-free bet. I need you guys to hear me. If legalized betting happened right now for North Carolina, and I could do this offer, I would do it immediately. Now, obviously, I don't need 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum, but for you guys, that's a giant bonus as well. I would take this immediately, and I would do everything that I could. I would put $1,000 straight away in, and I would put that $1,000 on a relatively big underdog, something in like the plus 150 to plus 200 range, and hope that I won, and then just move forward with a bankroll from there. That would be my recommendation. I think that's what you guys should do if you have that ability, if you haven't signed up yet. Alrighty, folks. Sven, yeah, absolutely. It was a fun thing to talk about with Adam. I was curious to get his thoughts. Yeah, so hopefully we're here tomorrow. Who knows? Hopefully we're here Monday. Who knows? A hiatus for the process is imminent. Very, very imminent. When that happens, I won't know. I will put out a tweet and let you guys know that there's not going to be any content for a bit. I will be on ice for a week, 2 weeks, something around there. And it's if I had to guess, there's going to be a day in the next week where I'm just on ice for probably the rest of the year. And then we'll be back in January. It's going to be random. We're not going to know. I assume you guys could read into that and understand what I'm talking about. But got to let you guys know because, I don't want you to think that the process is going anywhere. It's not. I'm going to be gone. No other way around it. On that note, hope to see you guys tomorrow morning. Contenders videos will be out in a bit. Strategy show as well. Not season. No, it's not done. It's not done. It's just going to be temporarily done. I'll be on the strategy show. No late night show for me. I was supposed to be on Live Before Lock last night. Gundacker was able to be just an awesome person and cover for me. Had some things come up. Could not avoid it. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow morning, I hope. But at the very least, I will see you guys on the strategy show at 10 o'clock. Guys, this was The Process.